Let's find out if they matter enough for Echo Fox to take home this win against Team Solo Mid, passing it on over to Dalcinic Scoundrel.
Well, it's another Von C Koshka special here at Scoundrel. This guy has played Koshka, I believe, a grand total of 7 times this season. And you have a look at the Koshka win rate. She's been played about 40% of the games here in North America, with a pretty good win rate. It's about 94%. So Von C with his 100% Koshka win rate, what do you say about that?
I think you've said everything that you need to say. He's got a
Right.
100% win rate on Koshka over a sizable number of games. The other thing that I want to point out is the Flash X Flicker special. He's really one of the only teams TSM to actually pull off the Flicker properly here. Look at Von C. I mean, just going in, finding something, still going.
They're going to find a kill. Yeah, look at this. The Treant roots down the Lance here. He's just dead. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. First blood drawn by TSM. Von C, no fear. It's been said so many times. It's his motto, diving into 3, just knowing his team has his back.
Absolutely knows his limits in Koshka as well. He pounced in, got a basic attack, then backed out immediately, knowing that there was no point going for a twirly fun because he would have just taken too much damage. Then, once Flash X backs him up on the Flicker, goes back in with the support of his team to find that route and that lock onto Colmamik. I don't know how I feel about this Scarf in the jungle really either, to be honest, Dalcy. Not sure I'm a totally huge
It's
fan.
fun in solo queue when you're playing with some friends, but on a competitive level, I'm not quite sure how you're meant to make it work.
It's safe, right? It's just super safe for the Scarf. But the problem is the gold income I don't think is high enough to generate enough items to get Scarf to where he really becomes a powerhouse, which is in the later stages of the game once you've got 3 or so items built into your kit and you've got a lot of CP behind you. That's where I think Scarf actually shines. And in the jungle, it takes a little bit longer to get to that situation, Dalcy. You often see CP skies from the jungle used to go like Shatterglass because it was the best value for money that they could get, giving them the best item spike that they could get. I mean, admittedly, Scarf generally tends to go Frostburn first, so that's a fairly achievable first item for Lone Delphi here.
You say it's safe as well. This Flicker, Flash X, he's one of the people who's been preaching about it for quite some time now. Is Scarf safe when the entire team is mooncloaked, charging straight on top of him?
No.
Job done, let's go home.
Yeah. I mean, so I was talking to Flash X specifically about his Flicker, and he said that there's no use itemizing against a Flicker usually. It's not the best idea to itemize into a Flicker. What you want to do is you want to build a composition that Flicker doesn't do particularly well into. The problem is with a double squishy composition. That's a composition that Flicker does do particularly well into. So actually, Fox have just kind of shot themselves in the foot with this particular Flicker composition. I think they picked Gwen thinking the stealth reveal is great from Buckshot, but that's limited, I would say. That's a really limited, Mixie.
Yeah, Mixie's just in so much trouble. Von C looking to put the damage down on Cole the Meek. They definitely didn't pick Gwen thinking that they were going to, use it to reveal the Flicker, as the Flicker was the last pick in the draft.
Oh yeah, okay. So that's difficult then. You can't really draft against a last pick Flicker, but I mean, again, that's what the strength that TSM has. They feel comfortable pulling out the Flicker in multiple situations. I think Colmamik's dead.
He's definitely dead. He's running the wrong way, and he's been criticized. A lot of people have been criticizing Colmamik. He's not necessarily found his place just yet on the Echo Fox lineup. They haven't really found their place yet here in the North American VG8 split. They're 0 points like Misfits. They're pointless at the moment. They haven't been able to secure any wins so far. And we're rounding into the final week next week. The last chance to actually get points on the table.
Yeah, there's definitely pressure on the Echo Fox lineup, you would say. They had a lot of hype built around them. Last year, you would say that Colmamik was definitely one of the better junglers in North America. He had a lot of prestige about him from the past couple of years of Vainglory professional play. He's come back in this captain role. Hasn't quite found his place, like you said. Hasn't quite found exactly what he wants to do. And there's been a lot of pressure, I think, on Echo Fox in general after their really sort of hyped up reveal. Echo Fox's big entrance into the Vainglory scene, the actual roster hasn't performed the way that you potentially would have wanted them to. Gotta say, I agree with Humanist in the sense that I think Lone Delphi has been almost one of the most impressive members of the squad. And you've got the likes of Mixi and Kolomik who have had such high-level professional play under their belts that for Lone Delphi to be the standout player, it's kind of odd.
And, you know, there's this kind of point of Fuji, right? He's the super coach that's come in for Echo Fox. You know, I believe the first full-time, you know, coach on the payroll for Vainglory. But he, you know, could substitute in, perhaps. Maybe we see him come in at some point for Echo Fox, but that would just kind of say that they have no faith in the other members, unfortunately.
Like, there's only so much coaching you can do. You put it that way, right? There is limited to what a coach can actually achieve with the roster. At some point, it comes down to the players themselves. You can tell them what to draft. You can tell them how to approach the game, how to work on their macro. But at some point, it comes down to execution. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. TSM, their execution has been flawless so far.
And it has been
only
for quite
team...
some time, Dalsy. Yeah.
Right.
TSM has been undisputedly the best team in North America for quite some time now.
Absolutely, and they're continuing to show it. Like, they're the best team for consistency across the entirety of North American EU. They've got 2 wins on the board so far. You know, both weeks played, they've taken first place, pole position. They're miles ahead of their competition. And, you know, we're going to see them continue to do so. We've already established that if they secure this single win now in the first game against Echo Fox, they've locked their place into the spring finals. So this team yet to be brought to their knees.
Yeah, I don't know how many teams out there will be able to do so. Actually, Von C takes some damage.
Yeah, no, too aggressive this time, and that's going to be Lone Delphi finding the first kill. Ace is high, locks up Flash X, and he's just going to get burned alive by this Scarf. Impressive stuff. Fox, they catch Von C in mid-rotation, trying to steal some stuff away, and they punish. It's what they need to be doing. More of this, please.
Absolutely. I mean, they capitalized on a Von C mistake. That was a very Von C mistake to make, though. Kind of almost blissfully unaware of his surroundings, gets caught out, and then actually, I think Flash X made the mistake of then trying to salvage something from the situation. I don't think there was much left to salvage there. I think Von C was just dead, and you just leave it at that. But again, lots of scout traps coming out now. Don't know, he is going towards a contraption, so Kolomik has got 5 flares, a flare gun, and is also building up scout traps, so looks like he's building towards a contraption specifically to start putting pressure on Flash X. The way we saw Flash X respond to Rect's itemization of a contraption first was Flash X just cleared all those. Doesn't quite steal it.
They had so many tools to be able to steal it. I was just like, is it gonna come? Okay, never mind. Sorry, continue.
Oh no, the Flash X just ended up clearing those scout traps as quickly as they were getting placed. So looks like there's going to be a potential gank here.
Yeah, straight on to Mixi. They're just running straight past the rest of them. Mixi's still alive, but here's the Yummy Catnip Frenzy, and the kill goes on over. Bonsi will lose his life for the effort. It's a 1-for-1 trade, and actually TSM in the health department, they're not doing so well. Perhaps Fox can continue to look for more aggression here. The scout traps certainly becoming useful for Echo Fox just to try and spot out these potential Moonpoke engages.
I quite like the Scarf in this situation. He's one of the tankier carry heroes that you can actually get in the game in terms of health values and armor and shielding values that he gets naturally per level. And you get to add the Frostburn to the mix. You've got the sort of the splash damage coming out from the Dragon's Breath. You actually can deal with this kind of attempted clump up composition from TSM, and also you can try and spot that flicker out in these brushes by just using that Spitfire over and over again. So Lone Delphi really making this work in the favor of Echo Fox. They've got a lot of work to do to actually beat TSM here, but this is definitely not the start TSM would have wanted. They would have wanted to be much further ahead, you would think, at this point in time, putting the pressure on. Well, give credit over to Best Chicken A. It is 9 minutes. He's almost got double Tyrant's Monocle breaking point.
Yep, he's done this so many times. He's just so on point with his CSing, and now it's going to be Echo Fox in trouble. TSM walks straight into the tri-bush, and only death comes for Echo Fox. Lone Delphi, the second here for this Vox. Best Chuck just tearing through the Echo Fox lineup, and I was going to make a point about how it's been so close so far, but no, not anymore. TSM, they've turned up, they've hit that power spikes point. At this 10-minute mark, they find an ace.
Yeah, absolutely. Just dominant. Rush in from TSM. Don't even need to use the stealth. Just absolutely obliterate Nixie. Everybody clumped up. The damage comes through from Best Chuck. The damage comes through from Von C. Those item spikes getting hit, like you said. Piercing Shard has been picked up by Von C. Best Chuck had got a Tyrant's monocle on top of his breaking point and had the critical strike of a lucky strike to back him up as well. So, I mean, plenty of item spikes being hit here by TSM. And also the fact that Atlas Pauldrons was delivered directly to Gwen there as well. Played that fight incredibly well.
So now for Echo Fox, they're truly on the back foot now as TSM starting to pull further into the lead. 3,000 gold at 11 minutes. It's not a huge lead for TSM, but you could say the tempo is in their hands. And when TSM has tempo, it's hard stealing it back.
Exactly. You know, once TSM get their grasp on the game, and they're the ones looking to consistently rotate around the map and make plays, you're very correct. It's very difficult to wrench that away from TSM. Coldermeek does have his contraption now, starting to put down scout traps wherever he can. But remember that FlashX's speciality on Flicker is just clearing scout traps like no other. He'll be across the map trying to click off every single one of these. You'll see him just searching every brush, trying to look for a scout trap.
Trying to work out if this is the quickest. We've seen Best Chuck and A grab that double Tyrant's monocle with the breaking point. Definitely a quick one in week 1, I remember. But look at this, the Mooncloak once more. Fox knew it was coming, but what can they do against this TSM roster? The first goes to this Von C. A second, not a third though. Best Chuck able to secure the ace. At this point, TSM have turned up and they're not going away. That's going to be a turret and a second. These buffed up minions, there's so many of them to deal with. Maybe even push forward. No, they will fall back. They're going to play things safe and respectful, take a Crystal Sentry as, you know, a bit of a prize for themselves. But, you know, a 3,000 gold lead at 10 minutes. Something about that mark gets turned into just about an 8,000 gold lead at 12.
Yeah, somehow, off the back of those singular fights, TSM just absolutely steamroller their way through, and all off the back of that one team fight. And again, they are so good at pushing an advantage when they get it. There is no hanging around for TSM. They're a team that consistently grasps at any opportunity to punish their opponents for even the slightest misstep, or even not even punish them for their missteps, just to completely take advantage of the lead that they have accrued. And they are so good at forcing the issue as well. TSM looking fantastic so far, Dals. Makes
you wonder, can you afford not to ban Koshka against Von C? You know, obviously there's so many other power picks in the meta, so it's why teams haven't been prioritizing this Koshka ban. She's, you know, in North America, she's had about 40% of the bans thrown at her, so definitely other teams considering it, but Von C just so powerful, and he just allows his team to do whatever they need.
Absolutely, and do you know what I like? My favorite response to a contraption is a contraption. And it looks like FlashX has gone for that. The best way to clear your enemy's vision is by putting down your own vision. It's genuinely the best counter to a contraption is a contraption, and FlashX knows that. He's gone for a contraption here. He's going to start putting pressure on Coldermeek's side jungle, keeping tabs of where Coldermeek's putting his vision so he can consistently clear it out.
Well, they're going to get spotted, but it's Coldermeek just completely bypassed. In fact, they're going to go on top of him. All the damage onto this lands before his carries help out. The Ace's High lands, but here comes the wait for it. Best Chuck and A just making sure the Echo Fox have literally no response. Silenced on up in awe of this play from TSM. And there is vision in the beginning of that base to give Echo Fox a bit of a warning that the Mooncloak's coming, but even with a warning, there's not much to do about it.
Yeah, I mean, they just caught out supposedly the tankiest member of the Echo Fox lineup and just destroyed him. And look at this, infusions coming out left, right, and center. You've got an infusion for Coldermeek. I think an infusion just picked up for Lone Delphi. They know that this next fight is going to be the key, Dalsy. They know that this next fight is going to be the one that wins or loses them the game. And you know, I think if you're a betting man, you'd say likely going to be the loss, but they know that it's very important that they have every ounce of potential fighting power in their back pockets, so the infusions coming through are going to be incredibly important, especially for Lone Delphi, which will be that level 12 infusion also.
Well, the Kraken spawned and TSM are starting it up. Look at your mini-map. Just look at the red dots littered around the jungle. If Echo Fox was to even step out of their base to look to see if TSM were doing this Kraken, they would be envisioned immediately. As it turns out, Echo Fox, they do not take the bait. They give this Kraken on over, but you're completely right, Ex-Scoundrel. The infusions have been purchased. Echo Fox know that this is the next big team fight to dictate whether or not they lose the game here and now.
And I think if, you know, like we said, it doesn't look great for Echo Fox at this point in time. Actually, look at this. Look at all of this defensive scout trap vision coming out from Kolbamik here. Just doesn't want any way, shape or form for Flicker to make it into the base with the ultimate. Just wants to keep tabs on Flicker every given opportunity. And Flash X is just going to pop some from Flared and try and burn this one out as Kraken heads in. I don't even think they need the ultimate from Flash X though. Absolutely not. I think they can end up winning. Here comes the stealth though. They'll get spotted out.
Yeah, movement speed more than anything, I think, Ex-Scoundrel. Vonzi diving in onto the backline. It's taking a lot of damage. They're going to burst him down before they find a kill, but Lone Delphi will be quick to be returned. Best Chuck burst down. Echo Fox, they've done it. They found the 2 carries necessary, and Flash X will be their target. The Kraken is taking down these Vein Crystal turrets, and Flash X is buying so much time. Echo Fox, they're going to prioritize the ace. Will they be able to stop the Kraken from taking the Vein Crystal turret? Nope. It looks like it will go down. They hold on, Echo Fox, for another ride.
Yeah, that was a little bit over-aggressive from TSM. I think mainly that they were trying to disrupt or at least pick up a couple of kills on the carries so that they could actually end the game with the Kraken doing most of the work for them, but didn't quite find that opportunity there, Dalsy. Bonsi's got his Broken Myth, got his Aftershock. He's definitely looking like a scary cat at this point in time. That spike for Best Chuck and A has been hit for quite some time now. He's also got that Full Metal Jacket on top as well, so plenty of defense for Best Chuck and A from this point forward. Don't really know where Echo Fox come back in here. Maybe you ride off the sort of the Lone Delphi wave with him picking up the Eve of Harvest. That's his 3-item spike for the Scarf. Maybe you can play from range enough, but here we go.
Oh, they're just going for the end here. Mooncloak, they've spotted out. They've managed to knock 2 people out of it, but, well, Echo Fox, they need to get back to the base, and Flash X is just going to stop them all from porting back. Vonzi and Best Chuck just to walk straight on in as Lone Delphi and Mixi take down this Flicker. But it's done. It's over to Best Chuck and Vonzi to finish this one up. And Echo Fox, they certainly showed competition at the beginning of the game, and they showed that they understood how the end of the game would go. It just wasn't enough to be able to take down TSM.
Yeah, I think that they had some glimpse